So do you ever just get sick of those warm, ambery, vanilla scents and you want to just wear a fresh fragrance, but it's still cold outside, and so you're wondering to yourself, what fragrances out there can I wear during the cooler months that are still fresh? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. 10 fragrances that are fresh that you can wear during the cool weather. So without further ado, let's get it. What's going on, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys so much for joining me again for yet another fragrance video. We're going to go back and talk about something that I talked about last month, but somebody wanted me to rehash it. So a month ago, I did a video, maybe it was 2 months ago, I can't remember. I did a video or a live stream where it was like top 5 fresh fragrances under $30 or something like that that you could wear during the Christmas season. Well, they wanted me to come back and talk about fragrances that are not just under $30, but all fragrances altogether that are fresh that you could wear during the winter months. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Top 10 amazing fragrances that you can wear during the winter months, but they're fresher. Not necessarily like a summer fragrance, but they can be. Some of them are. They're more the versatile style fragrances, obviously. Before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, get all that social shit out of the way so that we can get straight into this. Starting with this, and we will have a few cheapies in here just because, to me, they weren't on the last video and they are amazing. Starting with this is Sean John's 3 AM. This one is harder and harder to find nowadays, but it's kind of like a fizzy, sparkling tonic water that has almost this tea-like note. So it doesn't have tea in it, but it has this like figgy tonic water mixed together with citruses. That's the best way to really put it. If you've ever smelled tonic water, it has that like bubbly feeling in your nose. That's kind of what you get from this. It has a slight vintage vibe from that like citrus mixture, and then you have a little bit of a fruity backbone. But overall, it's just fresh, clean, out of the shower. I love wearing this out of the shower, but it works during the warm or cool months. Spray this 500 times, and not only that, this has one of the best atomizers in the game. To be honest with you, it's probably like top 5 atomizers that I've tried. It has a really nice pressurized atomizer. Kind of smells like a little bit like, what's that, Nishane's Oolong Cha, just if you took away the tea. Because it does smell like there is tea in here, but it's replaced with the tonic water. They kind of have that same vibe. But that kind of fizzy, effervescent, figgy citrus is kind of what you get with this. Very, very good. I absolutely love it. I can't get it shut, so whatever. There we go. All right, now moving into number 2. This is my home run fragrance that is one of the most underrated fragrances out there. It's a niche fragrance that you can find this for like 130 bucks sometimes on Joma Shop. This is Tom Ford's Soleil Neige. Soleil Neige is, if you don't like those kind of coconut suntan lotion-y style fragrances, then you're probably not going to like Soleil Neige. I don't like Soleil Blanc. I don't like Soleil Faux. I don't like any of the other Soleils in the line. I haven't, never will, because they're a little bit too feminine. This one, it's one of the nicest creamy sandalwood jasmine vanilla mixtures that you will ever find. It is a nice white floral in the opening. And you guys know I really don't like white florals, so for me to like this is crazy. Somebody came into my wife's work. She smelled it, asked him what he was wearing. He said this. My wife had me go out to Nordstrom. We went out to Nordstrom's, tried it out, and I was like, I don't actually like, oh wow, that's really good. It's kind of how the opening into the dry down. It gets very floral in the opening for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then it starts to get real creamy suntan lotion, but high quality, almost as like coconut sandalwood, creamy vanillic tonka. It's warm blonde woods, super sexy fragrance that you can wear during the warm or cool months, because that kind of floral creaminess, even though it is good on a beach, it also does work well in the cool weather, and it eats through the cool weather as well. It is pretty much an any season fragrance, but I do still find it leaning spring and summer. but you can wear it in the cool weather. It does work very well. I actually wore it 2 days ago. Soleil Neige is high quality, really good fragrance. You definitely need to try it out. It's one of the unsung heroes from the Tom Ford Private Blend line. Seriously. Now going from one of the unsung heroes, underrated, to one of the, highest rated fragrances out there. This is Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, aka Cashi. If you ever see somebody write Chasee, it's Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. So it's called Cashi. This is the most versatile fragrance out there, so obviously it's going to work during the fall and winter months. You can wear this in any season. It's not really a sporty fragrance. It's kind of like if you took that Allure Homme DNA, dialed down the citrus, added in a little bit more of this mint. It's a minty aromatic sweetness, and then you get this nice vanilla tone that comes in after about 5 minutes and then just gets heavier and heavier, and then a nice woody tone underneath that. But it's a little bit minty, it's a little bit woody, and then it has that nice vanilla that just takes over the fragrance. The only bad thing, it's called Eau Extreme. It only lasts like 5 to 6 hours. The actual Allure Homme, the original, will last 7 hours, so you would think the Extreme you would get more, but you don't. But it doesn't matter because it's one of the most versatile fragrances out there. Just overspray it or take a decant with you. It's absolutely amazing. One of the best fragrances, and that vanilla really does shine, especially in the cooler weather. Going into this one is another unsung hero, especially from its line. When most people talk about the Extreme, the Eau de Parfum, this is Guerlain's L'Homme Idéal Eau de Toilette. And while this isn't really a fresh fragrance, this is the freshest one from the line. Freshest one from the line that still exists. Because obviously there was the Coal and the Cologne. But this one and now the Platine Privé are the two freshest ones. Could have used the Platine Privé, but this is kind of like your fresher aromatic version of that almond DNA that you know from the line. It still has that powdery almond, but it is more citrus's freshness. It has this nice aromatic tone to it, more fresh and spicy. Really nice L'Homme Idéal if you just want the base DNA. Honestly, this is one of the best, easiest wears from the line, while all of the other ones in the line, they have a little kicker to them that kind of makes it a little bit more situational. This one is the most wearable from the line. Again, it's basically that almond DNA that you know from the line mixed together with the base DNA, which is going to be this kind of tonka but aromatic, fresh spiciness. Very nice L'Homme Idéal Eau de Toilette. Lasts about 6 to 7 hours. Can't go wrong with it. This one was my signature scent in 2022. It is spicy and beautiful, and it's my favorite Dior Homme. Dior Homme Sport 2021. It's my favorite Dior fragrance altogether, to be honest with you, even over the Intense and the Parfum. Dior Homme Sport 2021, it's a fresh Aldehydic pink pepper balm. That's what it is. It's the Dior Homme 2020 DNA, but if you freshened it up, added a bit of citruses and aldehydes in the opening, and then gave it this kind of like sweet and spicy pink pepper, it is something that you could wear dressed up or dressed down. That's what I really like about it. It has this elegance to it, but it also works with a hoodie. Dior Homme Sport 2021 is super versatile, one that you can wear in any season. It provides this nice elegance, this like aura around you that you're running with speed. Everybody thinks that you're one of those dressed up guys, but you could be in a hoodie and they still think that you might be one of those guys that are walking around having that confidence to you. That's Dior Homme Sport 2021. It definitely gives that for you. So now we have 5 down, now 5 to go. So this next one is one that I just got in, but I've had a decant of it for quite a long time. It is one of the best spring fragrances out there. But I just wore it the other day, and it was 12 degrees outside, and I can tell you, it is fantastic during the cool weather as well. By Nishane, it is Wulong Cha. This is the Extra 8, not the Wulong Cha X. I am excited to try Wulong Cha X. I just don't know how similar they'll be, so I'll have to get a decant of that as well. Nishane's Wulong Cha. It sounds like oolong tea because it is. It's oolong tea with this beautiful fig note. It is musky, it is tea, it is sweet, green, fresh, spicy, but then it has this, it's like a tea and fig fragrance with musk. It is beautiful. One of the best springtime fragrances you'll ever find. It is unisex at its core, but it's unisex just straight in the middle. Any female or male can wear it. It is fantastic fragrance. It is alluring. It is just inviting. It is one that you can wear in pretty much any situation. You can even wear this to work. It is clean, it's fresh, it's green, it's fresh, it's spicy. It is absolutely just one of the best spring fragrances that you can wear in pretty much any season. Oolong Cha is my favorite Nishane fragrance, at least from the ones that I've tried so far. Now we're going to go from that into a clone. This one is supposed to be a clone of Bulgari's Tiger, but it doesn't quite hit the mark, just like pretty much every other Tiger clone that exists. This is Afnan's Tarathi Blue. Afnan's Tarathi Blue, this fragrance is another one of those fresh, sparkling, citrusy, musky fragrances that has an ambery backtone. So just like Tiger has kind of like citrus musk and an ambery backtone, this does that, but just in a different way, because Tiger has a bit of a fruity touch to it as well. This one is more of this effervescent citrus in the opening. It almost has like a ginger-like accord. I don't believe there is ginger in it, but it has that kind of like effervescent, sparkling sharpness that you get from ginger. But for a clone that you can get for like $25, Afnan's Tarathi Blue, this is one of my favorite Afnan fragrances. It is one that is definitely blue at its core. So again, blue fragrances you can wear at any time. Has a little bit of a spiciness to it, but for the most part, fresh, alluring, inviting, very nice overall fragrance that has about an 8-hour performance. The opening 2 hours are pretty heavy, but then as it starts to dry down, it is one that is more moderate to closer to like a personal bubble. But Tarathi Blue, fantastic. If you're looking for something that does something that Tiger does, just in its own right, and it's not as high quality, still the quality is pretty nice. It's designer quality for sure. But Afnan's Tarathi Blue, citrusy, musky, ambery backtone, a little bit of a fresh spiciness in there. Really, really nice fragrance. I believe the citruses are grapefruit and either mandarin, orange, or lemon. It's a nice citrus blend, with why I can't really tell, and I believe grapefruit is one of the things that's in there though. So going into the next one, this one is, there's really going to be a trend here. Bright, sparkling, effervescent. When I say sparkling, effervescent, what do I mean by that? Well, it's kind of like if you think about opening a Sprite and you get that kind of bubbly brightness from it that has that kind of like bubbly, sparkling feeling, like sparkling water has that kind of just like fizzy tinge to it. That's what I mean whenever I say that. They're just brighter scents. And Creed Aventus Cologne is going to fit firmly in that, especially in the opening. I don't like the original Aventus that much. I mean, it's okay. It's just nothing that I go out, and I go buy 50 clones of it like a lot of other people do. I like Aventus Cologne better. This one is pretty much like if you took citrus and ginger and made it the prominent opening hour and a half of Aventus, because it still has that birch, that musk, a little bit of this like vanillic tonka in the dry down. But Aventus Cologne, very, very nice. It's still going to be a heavy mass appealing masculine scent. It's not going to be for everybody because some people just still don't like those fragrances. But this is going to be one, if you want to be one of those, you want to walk with a strut, you want to have that confidence, this is going to be it. And Creed Aventus Cologne, while it is a cologne and colognes are more made for the spring and summer. Again, we're doing fragrances that are for the spring and summer that also work in the winter. This one definitely does, especially if you pair it with Baccarat Rouge 540. One of the best layering combos out there. Aventus Cologne, absolutely amazing. So if you can't tell, we had some technical difficulties. When we were getting into the last two fragrances, for some reason the volume wasn't working. So now you have me with no beard for some reason. But we're going to get into the last two fragrances. Again, we're talking about fresh fragrances that are great for the winter. Getting into one that now is a new release as of about 4 months ago. This is a follow-up to the original, which was a hype beast across all of social media. This is a new release. It is by Reiss. It's Reiss Hawas Ice. Reiss Hawas Ice is that original Hawas DNA, slightly freshened up, and then it has this kind of candy-like citrus in the opening. It's kind of funny though, the reason that I really enjoy this in the winter is because when I first tried this out, it was during a cold day, and I didn't really get much mint in it, which is in the note breakdown, and a lot of people were saying they got mint. I didn't. And then I asked those people, hey, are you in the heat by chance? And they were like, yeah, in the heat, the mint is coming off crazy. And so I tried it like 3 days later because it was just a cold day, and then 3 days later it was like 80 degrees, and I tried out Hawas Ice, and the mint actually comes off your skin a lot more during the heat, but in the colder months it's more of that candy-like citrus with the mint is just way dialed down. It's a minute part of the fragrance. So it's almost like a completely different style of fragrance. With that said, so this opens up, depending on what time of year you're wearing it, what climate you're wearing it. Again, you might have more mint or less mint, but again, we're talking about the winter. This is going to open up with this candy-like sweet tart citrus mixed together with, unlike the original Reiss Hawas, which had that watery plum, this is going to be like a warmer plum, so it does come off a bit fruity as well. It has a slight bubblegum vibe, and then those kind of watered aquatic vibes from the original Hawas are dialed down a lot. As you get about 25 to 30 minutes into the fragrance, that's where that candy-like citrus, the fruitiness, and the slight mintiness that you get in the winter dial down and go more into the background as you get a lot more of that Hawas DNA that comes in just slightly freshened up with a little bit more of this bubblegum sweet tart-like kick. That is where this fragrance gets closer to the original Hawas. Is it redundant? Depending on how many fragrances you have in your collection, you could consider it that. But I actually think that they're both worth having because they both kind of do something a little bit different. Well, this has that candy-like sweet tart citrus. That one has more of that musky woods, and then you have that watery plum. It's more of a watery fragrance. And then this one, it does have a little bit of the woods, but it is more of a youthful bubblegum-like fragrance. But Reiss Hawas Ice, it does really, it's the better of the two in the warmer months. But during the cool months, which Hawas really shines, this one does shine as well. I could have used either of them. But as this matured on my shelf, it is now close to what the Hawas projection and performance is like. I get about 9 to 10 hours on this with heavy projection, above average for the first 4 to 5 hours, and then it calms down. But with that said, Hawas Ice is a very nice fragrance. Going into the last one. This one is my wife's favorite probably from this entire list. It is hard to knock, especially for the price that you can get this at. I don't know if this was on my cheapies list, but I'm guessing it was. But with that said, this is by Abercrombie & Fitch. It's First Instinct Together. It is her favorite First Instinct. It's probably going to be her favorite from this list. This is a very mass appealing fragrance. It's similar to the Hawas style DNA, where you kind of get those sweet aromatics, a little bit of the bubblegum style citrus. I believe there's like grapefruit, lavender, a little bit of mandarin orange floating through this. And then again, this sweet lavender kind of goes through the entire fragrance. It's definitely more youthful, a little bit more bubblegum, but overall, this fragrance is super mass appealing. It's super versatile. It's one that when you wear it in the cooler weather, this tonka kind of comes out a little bit more and makes the fragrance have a little bit more depth, which is why I like it, and I like to wear this actually more than I do during the spring and summer, which it actually is made for. I like to wear this more during the fall and winter because something about that kind of base, that sweet lavender, a little bit of that candy-like citrus as it's going into the background, that bubblegum citrus mixed together with this tonka woods that kind of just pull in and become the main status of the fragrance. I really enjoy it. That is First Instinct Together, and you can get it for like $16 if you find it at the right time at Marshalls or TJ Maxx. So that are my 10. Those are my 10. Sorry that we had some technical difficulties and that you pretty much got the bearded dude and the unbearded dude. I hate shaving my face, but I'm going on vacation, so I shave my face like once a year. But I had to shave my face because I'm going somewhere warm and I'm in a cold area, so I need to definitely go tanning at least once or twice to not burn when I go there. Not that you guys care, but let me know some of your favorite fresh fragrances you like to wear during the cool weather. You could also wear Dolce & Gabbana the one, Dolce & Gabbana not the one, light blue Oh Intense is a great one to wear that's fresh. Any of the Allure Hommes. Obviously, pretty much any blue fragrance will work. Versace Dylan Blue, Aqua Atlantique, Bleu de Chanel, all of those are going to work. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.